I could write a book on what you don't know, human fool!
Hi guys, welcome back. Scaling here, we're off for yet another unboxing. I can't show the main packaging because it's got my details all over it, but I've got more stuff from Fangamer, and yes, the title of the video, it's Undertale yet again. It keeps happening, don't it? So you know what, let's break this open immediately because this packet is the main packet. Because I've got Undertale for Switch, and the only way you can get it physically anywhere other than Best Buy, which we don't have in the UK, is, well, through Fangamer. And would you believe it, unlike with the figurines, but with like the collector's edition right behind there, I had more border checks. Never seems to stop, does it? Oh, I just noticed we got like all different symbols here, including the Triforce, a sword, bombs, bananas, Yoshi egg, the electric bolt, the key, Game Boy, excuse me, I was about to say Advance, and that's not right. Gears, maybe Mega Man at this point, E-Tank, Pac-Man, all that sort of stuff. Don't normally get them in this kind of packet though, because remember, that came in an actual box, and so did the figurines and plushies, which is why I've got them in the background there. But yes, open this up, and there it is! In a very nice black box, kind of. It's just solid black, just like it is with the PlayStation. Oh no, wait, it's not solid black. There is actually the, there you are. You've actually got the new home, is it? Or home? Basically the city underground. And you've got the usual information on the back and whatnot. That's pretty cool. But whoever remembers the trailer when the Switch version actually launched, they showed one little clip, and that was some kind of cat in a room. And, well, that is a thing that we're going to have to actually get into, because that is actually exclusive to the Switch version. Now, you might be thinking, what has the Switch version got in comparison to the PS Vita and PS4 versions, other than Trophy Sport, because obviously the Switch don't support trophies? Well, here's the thing. It does have the borders as before, but there are two additional borders. There's a border for going into the Temmie village, but it has nothing to do with the Temmies for some reason. It's just, you just get it by walking in there. And there's also one that pertains to that character, because if you remember the beginning of the trailer, it was quite animated, and it's basically, spoilers, Mew Mew Kissy Cutie. Yeah, apparently she exists, even though she's technically an anime that Alphys likes. What? Well, that's a thing. It's actually exclusive to the Switch version only. And by the way, other than this little notification here, we actually get a small variation of the little storybook, and it's got the exact same feel as, well, yeah, the exact same feel as the actual full one does. Very thick cardboard, but it's still the same story. The exact same illustration. It's just on a more smaller form factor because it has to fit at that point in the case. So that's a little bit cool, I guess. It's a little bit different. And of course we've got the Switch cartridge. Let's get into focus. There we are. The Switch cartridge. That's pretty cool because that means we now have Undertale physically on a Nintendo console. I know this is a little bit late. We're like in this is being recorded on the 6th of October. This came out on the pretty much 18th of September. I had to wait a bit, and game didn't actually have any in store, even though they did have on the website available for pre-order, and I put a £5 deposit down, so I just moved that £5 deposit toward Nintendo Switch Online. So that's a thing. But yeah, from what I can tell from the circuit board there, if you know anything about circuit board from like Sport Wave or something like that, News Wave, they opened up in Nintendo Switch cartridges before, and normally if it's black, if the circuitry's black, that means that it's the smallest possible cartridge, which I'm actually kind of surprised, because isn't this like half a gig big, which is like the smallest form of a Switch cartridge? So why is it green? That's what I don't understand. I mean, it's the green that you get with like non-first party games, so that's the thing. But, you know what? This hasn't been done for a while. Taste test. Tastes like dog residue. Actually, it didn't really taste of anything, just like generic enzyme. It wasn't as strong as Zelda was, and yeah, that's a thing, but I thought that would be a little bit funny. But yeah, so that's Undertale Switch right there. So yes, you have 2 additional borders to collect, and 1 new boss, or new character. But normally, when a new character is introduced, it's normally a boss, because when we had the Dog Sanctuary before, that wasn't a new character, that was just the annoying dog or Toby Fox in the shrine. So that's a thing. So the shrines do exist, and I have actually seen videos ahead of time, so I know what I need to do because I was missing out. But there's not actually anything to do with that, and I forgot to put that this little advertisement back in here, so I'm going to put that behind the instruction manual. But yeah, I like it when they actually make like instruction manuals or just a little something in the case, because it's always bare when you just get a case, you open it up, and it's just the cartridge, like Breath of the Wild. So that's a thing. But yeah, that's pretty cool. But that's not all, because as per usual, when you order something from Fangamer, you get a few bonuses. So let's go pop this open. The thing is, I didn't actually get anything Undertale related in here, I don't think, because for one thing we've got like yeah, we got like this card. We need your help, Sean. Andros has declared war. He's invaded the Lilac system, is trying to take over Corneria. It's a very characteristic Fox from Star Fox, Fox McCloud. I don't get why that was included, but maybe it's because of Starlink, maybe, with the Switch version having an actual full-blown model of the R-Wing that you use in the game, and Star Fox pretty much in the game. I don't know, that's a bit odd, but at the same time we've got our usual advertisement little booklet here, which we don't really need to see, but we've got two new things in the packet. We've got like a sticker with a Pac-Man sticker, and then we got like this pin, which I get Toriel vibes, but I don't actually think that Raspberry badge is from Undertale. I'm not entirely too sure what it's from, because last time, if you remember during the unboxing, when we got to Will's unboxing of his Frisk figurine, I shown the packet that came with the figurines, because the figurines came from Fangamer, and the badge was Earthbound. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, Undertale was inspired by Earthbound, but at the same time, we still got a card that was Undertale related. And, you know, I do appreciate the card. I really do. I really do appreciate the card. It's just, when I think of Star Fox, I don't think of that design. And at the same time, what's Fangamer doing with that? I don't understand. And what's Star Fox got to do with Undertale? You'd think that they would actually theme it, but I'm guessing it's just like, oh yeah, you bought something from Fangamer, here's a few little goodies. And they just pick up a few and just chuck them in a bag or something. Or they just have them on hand or pre-packaged, like fun bags that you get at parties or something. I'm not too sure how they do it, but I still think that I would have appreciated having something that was related to what I actually bought, because nothing in here, except for the booklet, of course, because, you know, you have the Mettaton shirt behind there in the middle, and, you know, you have the collector's edition actually shown on the front. But it's like, if I was going to order, like, Undertale stuff, I would have preferred having a thing. Now, you might be thinking, there wasn't really much to show here. You just basically got the book with the game and a couple of extra little trinkets that weren't really noteworthy. Why are you doing an unboxing? Well, that's because I got something else, which was actually a little bit cheaper if I got it with the game for Switch. So this is the raison d'etre of this video. So let's go pop this open quickly if I can, because yeah, of course that wants to happen. I'm gonna have to slice it up. So just gotta be really careful about actually doing this, because that ain't happening. So I'm just gonna get it. The Undertale art book. It's got concept art in here. This is going to be fun to look at. So let's get rid of this packaging quickly, and let's have a little look-see. I'm just wondering, does that actually fit in the collector's box? It's a little bit too big. It's a little bit too big. I can't fit that in, so I don't know where I'm going to store this. I'll probably just have to be on the pile with the books that it's sitting on. But, because, I mean, Hyrule Historia is literally right there. That's what they're sitting on. So let's rip this open here. Oh, that's cool. I didn't notice. That's like a gold kind of colouring. So this actually feels just like a big book. There's not much to it, to be honest. Is there actually anything else in the bag, just in case, before I chuck down the pile of all the other stuff I got? So probably going to do that way and get rid of that as well. So let's have a little look at this. So first I'm going to have a little look about myself, see what's on the first page. Oh, it's just immersed. So, in fact, if I go into an angle here, we might be able to both have a little look at it. In fact, do it this way so you can actually hear what I'm talking about. So, oh, table of contents. Yeah, I'm trying to do this in a different way so you guys can actually see. Preface, areas, character. I don't know what it means by preface, so we'll have a little look at that. Areas, characters, comics, and illustrations. Are these fan comics? Or are these official? UI, user interface, so we'll probably get like some look into the designs on what we've seen before. Don't know if any of this is online. There probably is some scans, but then again, well, if you want it physical, they're here. But I haven't seen a lot of concept art online, so this will be pretty cool. Cutscenes and conclusion. Oh, okay. Oh, that's what it means by preface. Every video game has concept art. Undertale is no exception. I guess the difference here is that I'm not an artist, because this is Temmie. Wait, you say that? Temmie, you say that, but you made that awesome animation earlier, and I'll probably put a card in the corner, so like just above here. So yeah, I would really like you to see that if possible, because that's a really good animation. I would like to see those characters actually like have voices, because they were really good designs. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this glimpse into the world of Undertale anyway. Toby, so that was Toby. Oh, okay, so that's Toby and Temmie, still on. Enjoy the art, I hope things are made printed okay, because I had no idea what... CM Yuck? What? Okay. When I was drawing the stuff. Okay, fair enough. I don't know what that means, I'm not in tune with the art jargon. But we've got areas. Wow! Wow! Look at that! If I can get into a good angle. Look at that! That's very crudely done. For some reason I get one-shot vibes by looking at that. It's probably because of the two-toned colour of the walls. You even got like a little sprite of Flowey there to say, oh yeah, that's where Flowey's going to be. That's the starting area. Wow. The original sketches for the layout of the ruins. A few people were picked on this, but the ruins and the idea of being trapped in an underground world as a whole were inspired by Brandish on SNES. I didn't even notice that on the other page. Brandish on SNES. I don't know what game that is. Slap up a screen on the wiki. And we got like very low res versions of areas that are actually playable in game, like very basic graphics. And it actually tells you like the name. It looks Game Test 4.4-140. It's happening. Room Merigo. When I first started working on this game, I used coloured squares as placeholder graphics. I actually finished the entire demo before I started replacing them. Oh, okay, so the demo was actually the pre-build for the first area, and then he swapped out the graphics before posting the demo. So, yeah, if you didn't get the actual graphics, that would have been that. So, you can see how he did the shading on the second page there. It looks like the UI was finalised, though. Well, to a certain extent. Doesn't look exactly the same as what it was before. Because it says HP and then energy. You didn't have two stats before. You only had HP. So, that's the thing. EN was going to be like MP for spells, but never used it. There we go. So, we got a little glimpse into that. There we are, now it's focusing. Yeah, EN was going to be... Yeah, so that's a thing. So, I'm going to have a nice look at this throughout myself, but... And I can't show the whole thing, we'll be here all day. Look how thick it is. So, yeah, we'll just pick a few things, but right now we're still at the beginning, so we can keep a look at this. Fallen leaves, dead trees... Sorry, trying to keep it in frame. Ruins map, hallway, that's Toriel's house. Toriel's house doesn't actually look that much changed. Asriel's room scale. Oh my god, Asriel's room. Look at that sketch. I've never seen any of this before. We've actually got the tile set here. And it actually looks like how it would be laid out in RPG Maker. I mean, this was made in Game Maker, but, you know, you probably made it in RPG Maker first, and that's probably what the tile set was. I mean, it's probably easier to make the tile set that way, because you can actually see each individual tile that was used. That's pretty cool. Oh, alright. So we got Snowdin now, so we're in the Snowdin area, and look at that! Look at that! Sans standing in the distance, in an ominous, like, we're all silhouetted out, and you're just walking along, and you can even see Frisk's, like, breathing in the snow. That's a really nice touch. Sans' appearance. It's like watercolour, like smudged. That's really cool. Oh, and here's something else. Look at that. Fireflies, I think, .png. Let's get a better look at that. If it wants to focus yet again. Halfway through Snowdin, I originally planned to have a cave of ice full of fireflies, whose lights would dance off the walls of the cave, but I couldn't figure out how to do it, or if it would fit in with Papyrus and Sans' japes. It probably would have looked really nice, considering how that looks, and considering how Undertale looks, even though it's basic. I think it could have been pulled off, like a lot of light effects, like how you are silhouette in the Hall of Judgment right before Asgore. I feel like that could have been pulled off, but at the same time, considering the jokiness of everything that happens in the area, probably would have stood out. But it could have been moved to Waterfall and just have the walls be crystals. That could have worked, because it's a lot more ominous in Waterfall because of what happens with Undyne. So it could have been moved to Waterfall if it couldn't fit in Snowdin. That could have been really good. Okay, here's the concept of the house for Papyrus and Sans. I don't know if you can see that due to the lighting, but it's basically drawn in like black with pinkish red, like a magenta, but it's like really faded out, so I don't know if you can see that. It's basically just like coded with A, B, C, D, just to say what's what. But what gets me is this at the bottom here. Papyrus's room, no girls allowed, no boys allowed, no small and white annoying dogs, but it goes outside the box. And that part, the last part's written in Papyrus, but it doesn't fit in the box, so I don't know what that's about, and that caught my eye. And of course we've got Papyrus' room right here, which is actually made in black and white, so I don't know why that's like in an inversed high contrast kind of way. Oh, that looks so good. That looks so good. Frisk's just sitting there with, I assume it's Frisk because you can't really tell, but like I can't even see the 1 or 2 stripes, but I assume it's Frisk because of the eyes, and just sitting there with a flower against the river right at the edge of like Waterfall and Snowdin. That's nice. That is really good. Who drew that? Does it say? Temmie drew that. Temmie drew that. That is awesome. And there's more. I was going to cut. Look at that. It just continues to go. That's like right where you like that's like one of the rafters, like when you're running away from like Undyne. Okay, I actually remember seeing this at some point. I do remember seeing the inside of Undyne's house, similar to this with that kind of background, and it is pretty much 1 for 1 on what it actually is, just filled in with paint bucket tool for the game, effectively. It is that close. It is that close. Okay, for some reason, Hotland, the core, the castle, and outside are all rolled into one. That's a bit much, isn't it? And we've also got like the tile set for this area as well. Really, only that many tiles were used for this entire segment? Seriously, only those tiles? Whoa! Look at that! That looks like that's the entrance to the core. Before it was actually, you know, just a very ominous, like, bottomless pit, like, pathway to go in. Right after you pass through MTT Resort. Okay, that is not only finely drawn, that is not sprites, but actually that's like all, like, paint-like style, but minimized, and it's eerily similar. It's, like, almost on point, and it's so, everything's drawn so straight as well. Oh! It's Mew Mew! Mew Mew poster 2. Foreshadowing. Welcome to MTT Burger Brand Emporium, home of the Glam Burger. That's Muffet's concept for her area. Very basically drawn. In fact, you can't even see where it splits because of where the book's bending, but I'm not even halfway through the book yet. Come on! There's the tile set for the core. And finally, we got like different variations of the surface until he actually decided to put a castle in the background there. And he just had to touch it up every so often because it changes just a tad. Isn't it natural for a game to like this to end looking at a sunset? That's literally all we had to say about that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, well, they had different versions of the landscape, which they probably had a few additional ones in the credits as well, but that's pretty much it. So now on to the characters. The very first page has like a sprite map of Frisk right here. Originally this sprite used to add a black outline, but it didn't show very well due to the numerous black backgrounds. Everyone says the protagonist sprite looks terrible. To be honest, I agree. Frisk looks a little bit weird in proportion. But look, that's right. If it looks too good, you'll have a different expectation. But to be honest, I mean, I could probably make like just a better Frisk like sprite in a RPG Maker sprite generator. To be perfectly honest with you, but at the same time, it's a unique style, and we've seen when it's literally synonymized with the game. It's synonymous, so it's like it's paired in such a way that you can't really see it in any other way. I still think though that the yellow skin, too Simpsons-esque. Nothing different about Flowey. He saw it as fully formed and he hasn't really changed his form since. And of course you've got all of his faces there, which of course I personally have seen on YouTube and Google and all that, because people use them for animations and even I've used them for the outtakes. Okay, so here we got a bunch of Toriel designs. The sprite designs changed quite dramatically. She had a much more poofier dress and more bunny-like ears, or whatever you want to call them, but it kind of like changed to a point where it was mostly just trying to get her face down right, and then it got to the ones near the bottom there. And of course, and on this page we've got like other sprites that don't seem to have gone and used, because she doesn't normally sit down completely on a left and right angle for flipping around. She doesn't look downwards while facing left and right, and she doesn't really have sobbing sprites used like facing forwards or facing south, so that's really different. Toriel's chair was too small, it didn't look cozy enough. Also, can she believe she actually cried? She had that weird forehead. I don't even like looking at this, by Timmy Chang. So that's yeah, so some of those sprites obviously weren't used, and maybe it's like probably when you like win by attacking her first and then sparing, she might get upset, so instead of cuddling you, she just crouches and sobs, then walks away. That could have been where those sprites could have been used. Or maybe like if Azure was actually, well, Flowey was actually revealed to be Azure in front of everybody, that might have been when she collapsed and sobbed. That might have been a thing, but that never seemed to happen. We can only speculate about stuff like this. Oh, that's so cute. Buff Goat Mum! Watch out, Smash! We got our Undertale representative right here! And of course we got like the spoof trailer Toriel model right there, and its wireframe, which you can't really... Oh, wait, I just had it in the light. There you are, the wireframe. Oh, bloody hell. Napster Bloke, the happy ghost. Also, if we bring it closer, we can actually get a little glimpse of an early HUD here. We've got an EN meter, if it wants to focus. There we are. We got like a fight, talk, spell, item and run option, so obviously the spell option wasn't used. But we've also got that EN meter that was mentioned before. So it's a lot more busier than it usually is. What has happened to my face? I know I wear a cowboy hat in Scaling Sean's last episode of his Free Heart Hero Challenge on Twilight Princess, but compared to all these other mugshots, this one is the most weird. What's even up with my eyes? It's not fabulous and cool like me, like this. Speaking of which, we've got like a bunch of different designs of Papyrus here. Look at the very first one with those big shoulders. What the hell? He's like dancing in one of them. He's trying to like snap his finger. His face was also a lot crazier than before as well. It's very odd. And I don't even understand what that stick one is down there. It's like, is that Papyrus when he hasn't got any of his armor on? When on the map? Don't really make much sense. Apparently, I think I can see where people got the idea for Underfell Papyrus's design. And that's supposed to be his knightly design, which is close to his battle body. But this, yeah, looks oddly similar to this. At least in my mind anyway. Who remembers these sprites? I've seen them online. Papyrus, what are you doing to me? Look how casual I am. Look at me with my gambling hat. I look so dapper. Jesus Christ. Look at all those dogs! You couldn't fit any more sprites onto this page, it won't even focus. We've got some different facial shots of Undyne here. I mean, if it wants to like get into the light, the head's a little bit disproportionate on some of these. You even got some of the like close-up mug shots from like when she's actually wearing a helmet. Most of those have been used, but then the ones down here look very different. Like, never seen those used. They must have gone unused at some point. Even figuring out her body was difficult, apparently, says Toby Fox. I can see why. Getting her proportions in that armor, very difficult it seems. Okay, we got some, look at that! That's a radically different design of Alphys right there. Then we got like a more stubby version. And then the version that she looks like when you're on the date. But yeah, this design, I think I would have actually preferred that design, to be perfectly honest. Because I'm not entirely too sure what Alphys is supposed to be, but at least that design looks more like a chameleon. So it's more relatable, because obviously Undyne is a fish. Don't know what she is, but she's a fish. Then we've got a skeleton. Then we've got a goat mum. But what is Alphys? I know she's supposed to be some sort of reptile, but is she a chameleon, a reptile? A hedgehog? I don't know. That is a lot more obvious. That one. It's just... I kind of like that one. The very first concept on that page. I really like that design. And I wouldn't mind seeing, like, more, like, designs of that. Maybe have that... Let's have some animations where that design is used. Let's get that as a character in animations. What's Marathon trying to do in that pose? Looks like we've got a different, version of the, user interface for the, shopkeepers here. It's not really the best lighting because of how it is. I mean, if I could get it into a good... There we go, good angle. Yeah, it's like the lady was going to be in like a window. You would have the menu on the wall next to the window, and then you would have your usual interface at the bottom. But I guess it was a lot easier just to have it full view and just have the menu minimized in the corner, which it is in the main game. But at the same time, that looks a little bit more immersive to me, because it's like you're looking into a little order window. You're looking at the side menu, and you're like, oh, I'll have this and this, please, like you would in real life, when you're at like a store or something, like just a window store. You just go to the window, order what's on the side, and then you grab your burger and you're off. But yeah, that actually looks really good. It's just, obviously that's not what happened. We're actually in the store talking, and we just have the little interface on the side. Obviously we know what Asgore looks like without his cape covering his armor, but obviously he's displayed like this on the overworld and whatnot, overworld, on the map screens outside of battle, because like, I mean, that looks too close to tutorial and that doesn't seem very manly. That one looks a little bit more ominous because you can't really see much of his body design. That's a bit more ornate, but I guess they wanted to keep it a bit simple, so they kept on changing it. This one looks like the most obvious in terms of his build when you're in battle, but of course this is what we ended up with. By the way, what is up with these two faces? It's like he's possessed! Oh well, it's literally just a mess, even in concept art. Azrael, what did you do to your hair? It's like a mini afro. Okay, no, those horns are just silly. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything about it. Seriously, did they want to give people nightmares? Look at those! It's nothing but skeletons! And we already have a skeleton, but they're wacky! That thing literally wants to destroy your shit. I mean, I know he's supposed to be like that, especially in his Hyper God of Death form, and that actually makes a lot more sense. But if you saw that, I think that would have actually been a lot more impactful. But then you wouldn't be able to sympathise with him, because he literally looks like the embodiment of death. Which is what his namesake is, but you need to be able to sympathise with Azrael. Because if he was telling you that and he looked like that, you wouldn't believe him. Okay, so I skipped the missed characters mainly because there wasn't a lot of actual stuff to see in this particular book. Most of that's actually been documented. But we're in the comics and illustrations right now, and I'm only going to show one, so I'm going to have a little look through them, and I'll show only one because I don't want to be pushing my luck. Sans, look at this. Wow, that's a lot of cash. Cash? What are you talking about? This is something far greater. There wasn't a lot there, and we're almost at the end of the book. It was mostly just character designs. Wow. Well, we're under the UI right now, so we'll be able to check this out, won't we? So let me have a little flip around and see what we get. Okay, so originally, well, from what I can see here, it used to be similar to Pokemon, where it's all just in one little box and your descriptions are here. Very Pokemon-esque. But it does seem that they still try to keep the flavour text, like a foul monster blocks your way, and the characters still talk, even though it's a lot more basically laid out, so that's a thing. And of course, you've got the bullet hell segment of the battles. So they are trying to set the framework. On the next page, we got this funny little thing. I wonder if this is a little too cramped for this style game. What do you players think? Well, it does look a bit busy because, like, the box is squished like the text for HP, energy, and the player's name. But the bottom menu is a little bit laid out well, and you've also got all the different types of buttons on that next page there. When you highlight them, they're supposed to change colour, and obviously the heart's supposed to replace your soul, supposed to replace the symbols. And then they tried flipping it around here and changed the style of the text itself. When they were originally going for a system, they changed it to something else that was a bit more 8-bit like, and tried to stick everything, including your stats, into another window, some other Pokemon yet again. Looks like the pause menu didn't actually change much, except for the fact that it's a little bit untidy due to some artifacts, as well as that the player's called Ness. And were they trying to go for an Ocarina of Style looking equipment screen here? And what the hell was everything at 99 for? You You don't get that much level in this game. You'll be a frigging destroyer of worlds. Or you could be Chuck Norris. Alright, so now we're on the cutscenes, and I'm only going to focus on the opening cutscene for this mainly. So I'm not going to show any of the others, but if we have a look here, they're all like sketched in. Obviously like concept design, and by the way, we can easily tell it's Kara, because if I just get a better grip of the book here. If you look on this one, over here, you can see that there's only one stripe coloured in on the shirt, so we know it's Kara because she's only got the one stripe. And not only that, but on the other page, it's all like line work, and it's basically like a mirror of the pixelization art that was used before. And to be honest, I mean, just look at the lines on Kara's hair there when lying on the floor. I like that design. I mean, the intro is supposed to be like a drawn storybook kind of thing. Obviously, it was kept pixelated as to keep the style of the game, as well as the resolution and whatnot. But I feel like that would have been very nice to use, because I just love the detail on the hair. I like the line work. And yeah, I'm at the end of the book now, so yeah, just wanted to flick through a few pages. I probably showed a little bit more than what I wanted to, but I haven't even shown you like even a quarter of this book. There is a lot of stuff in that book. It is a thick book, it is weighty, and you can get it for a little bit. You can get it for a little bit off if you get it alongside the game, either in a collector's edition like the one behind me, or the Switch version like the one I got. So yeah, just putting it over there out of the way. So I don't know how long this video is going to be, because I had to like pretty much look through the book and do a lot of like cutting in my head so I can edit it down. Don't know how long this video is going to be, but I hope you guys have enjoyed once again another unboxing, Undertale related. It just keeps happening, and now that I have Undertale on the Switch, I will see you guys when I, well, either get to the point where I can actually fight the additional boss, that is the new character in the game, and cover the borders within that same video as well, because beating the boss gets you one border, and just getting the Temmie Village gives you another. So we will be covering those. Of course, I'm going to have to play through hard mode again in order to get the hard mode border, but everything else, I can just play through the game before reaching the very end in order to get the last thing, and that will be another bonus video for the playlist. So I'll see you guys for that bonus video. I'll see you guys back once we start South Park Fractured But Whole yet again for the DLC on that, and any more Ocarina of Time stuff, 3DS related if possible, or maybe even the beta quest if I want to redo that as it comes, unless they're already coming out before this video, then there you go. But with that, guys, because I'm a little bit everywhere with videos at the moment because I'm just getting back into the swing of things, I'll see you guys next time for whatever video we do.